Alright everybody, this is my 125 and today we're going to tinker around with the lighting a little bit. I'm not going to do a lot, but I'm getting kind of tired of having that sort of dead zone in the front. I know it's hard to tell right now, especially if you're familiar with this tank. You'll know that I just did a lot of grooming and removed a lot of that overhead water sprite. So the tank looks fairly brightly lit by normal standards. Once that water sprite grows in, it gets really thick and it really prevents a lot of light. The other problem is how deep the tank is. The tank is actually 18 inches deep, and we'll go over and we'll have a look at the actual physical lighting on top of it, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I refer to this dead zone. So let me go ahead and hit the overhead switch, and we'll have a look at what I got going on here underneath my shroud. I just use a regular shop lamp. If you're not familiar with what a shop lamp is, it's simply a twin tube. These are T8s, they're nothing special. I get this at the Wally World for, I think it's $12 or $14, and then you got to buy a couple of tubes, which again are just a few bucks a piece. I use 6500K, just regular old Sylvania light bulbs. They're great for planted tanks, a good all-around bulb, or a good all-around color temperature. It's a 4-foot fixture, however, and it only leaves me with 1 foot at either end. So then I go ahead and I put these dome lights down, and these just have a simple little compact fluorescent light bulb in there and nothing more complicated than that. And you can see I sort of set it forward to kind of offset it a little bit because, again, with the depth of this tank, I don't really get this whole forward section lit up. And that's what the problem with this is. My shop lamp doesn't even cover this whole entire front section. So what I've done today is I've got this guy right here in the middle. This is one of my leftovers that I've got that came with another tank. Honestly, it probably came with this tank. I probably got 3 sections. You know, it's a 6-foot tank. Each one of these sections is 2 feet long. So the lighting that came with it was probably these 2-foot sections. Now that's got an 18-inch tube in it. For being the 24-inch fixture, it only has an 18-inch tube in it. So what we're going to do is we are going to put it on the front, and we're going to light it up so that this area here is brightly lit, because the problem I have is when my Ctenopoma or my Gourami or anybody swims front and center, as they often do while I'm filming, they go dark. You just simply see the silhouette of the fish and nothing more. So what we're going to do today is get that light turned on right there in the front of the tank. So let me go ahead and turn the overhead off again. While that drape is in the way just a little bit, this will give you a good enough idea. We're going to go ahead and do a before and after. So that's what the tank looks like now. And in just a second, I'm going to go ahead and turn that light on, and we'll do a real quick before and after, just to see what the difference of having one more tube in the front of that tank is. And then once we see that, maybe later we can tinker around with some other stuff and maybe see about getting some more light in other areas of the tank. But sit tight and we'll see how this looks with that one 18-inch tube lit in the front center. Alright, well that makes a huge difference, and hopefully that snakeskin gourami right there will actually swim up towards the top. I did just put a little bit of food in front and center in hopes that the fish will actually come over, because that's going to be the real key. It's certainly nice seeing those roots nice and brightly lit, but seeing some fish front and center there's that clown loach, so that's pretty good. We got an idea of how much color we could see on him or her as they swam in front of the light there. So that's going to be, again, my real key. Hopefully we will get to see somebody swim in front of there. There goes the snakeskin gourami again. So, well, that looks better than it did. I'm still going to need to see them up near the top, because that's when they would just simply turn black and you'd see nothing but a silhouette. I think the added light probably is freaking them out a little bit. They're not quite sure why it's so brightly lit up where it didn't used to be. But all in all, I like it so far. So we're going to leave it like that, let the fish adjust, and as time goes on, just keep in mind that, now see again, that gourami was going to swim around front, but then stopped and went around behind that root mass, almost like he realized that it was so brightly lit up there and decided against it. So let's see if we can't come over and do a little closer filming and get them more active and swimming around. And if that's the case, maybe we can get them over here towards the front of the tank. If they think I'm over here to feed them, maybe they'll swim out. We'll actually get to see a little more color. See, there we go. That's what you should be seeing on these fish when they swim up towards the front of the tank, not this black silhouette. So I definitely think we're going to at least leave it like this. I may even work on getting the front of the tank more brightly lit. See, look at that. That's just beautiful. Normally, if you're familiar with my videos, if you watch this tank regularly, you will know that as soon as the fish come up towards the front like this, you're literally just seeing the silhouette of the fish. And while it was interesting looking, it didn't make for the best of video. Now you see how he's sort of swimming back into that dark zone? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now if I put a lighting fixture on the forward part of this end of the tank as well, we would have better lighting there. And I think what my problem was I only have 2 of those 2-foot fixtures, so I either put one at either end and still had a dark zone in the middle, or I put one in the middle and then allowed for the dark zone at either end, and then sort of compensated with those dome lights a little bit. And I think that's why it was the way it was. Having the light on that center panel makes it a little bit of a pain in the butt to feed, because that's where I feed. So I'll just have to make some personal adjustments and start feeding the fish at one end or the other rather than in the center. But I definitely like the way that light looks a lot more. So thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something maybe. And if you're subscribed, you won't miss anything else that's coming up. So go ahead and do that if you're not already. Thanks again for watching this one. I'll see you real soon on the next one.